Time right now at 9:11 here on Live Impact News. For more than 30 years, one local dance studio has been quietly shaping more than just dancers. It's been building character, confidence, community, one class at a time. Michelle Soutier founded Miller Street Dance Academy in 1994 on the belief that great dance education should also grow great human beings. Is that right, Michelle?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, so Michelle, like I said, building all of these great virtues, 30 years in, does that still capture your mission, and why?
It really does. It's actually gotten stronger over the years because early on I just opened a studio in 600 square feet.
Wow.
And with 21 students I started with, and I realized that they wanted to help me do things because I wanted to do philanthropy because I grew up in a home of that. And so I learned that many hands do a lot of work. So I quickly created a service society, a points-based program, so that I could award the dancers that were actually doing service work. And that now has grown to where we do hundreds of projects a year at Miller Street.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, well beyond the dance floor, right?
Yes.
And so because you were raised that way, and Carlene and I were just saying that we're both trained dancers, and it is just the skills that you learn beyond technique and pointed toes and and all the positions in ballet, right? Why does that translate into skills that you take through life?
Well, 1% of my dancers will go on to dance in college or professionally, but 100% of them will become citizens. And I really want the world better. And it sounds so cliche, but I really want them to go out into the world and make a difference. And I do know it's happening because as my dancers graduate, I get calls to come here and there to speak to people about breast cancer awareness, or come to my sorority and help us get a fundraiser started, or can you help me with this or that or the other. So I know that they're taking it on, and by giving them awards now and rewarding them for this type of behavior and making a difference, it makes it normal as they grow older. So as they get older, I'm not going to be there to say, hey, let's do a coat driver, let's do something to help the community. And that is why I feel like this is so important. I do want them to have straight legs, pointed feet, lock that base
Right.
leg. I want them to do all the things, get as many rotations in their pirouette as possible. But that is so small in the large scheme of things. And now that I have just under 3,000 dancers, I have so many children that can do things in the community while training, and it keeps them out of trouble. It keeps them busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, as we do enter the summer months, school is about to get out here in the next couple of weeks. May-cember, I think, is this week. So going to a dance studio and keeping that structure, no matter the age. We're seeing a lot of video and pictures here from really young dancers.
Yes.
And so, talk to us about some of the things that they learn without knowing that they're learning it.
Well, they don't realize when they're doing the service work what they're actually doing for people in the world. And recently we did the Wigging Out campaign with the Carolina Breast Friends and the Pink House here in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And because I'm a 19-year breast cancer survivor, this has been my mission, because when I was diagnosed back then, my daughter was 8 years old. My sister wasn't even married yet. I said, get me through this and I will do anything for the breast cancer community and getting that out there. So I've kept my promise, and I am teaching them. So once we did this Wigging Out program, and they raised over $66,000 in the months of April when I had to wear this pink wig, and they saw what it did because the people at the Pink House sent videos to show them what they were raising money for and the women that they were helping, because all of those services are free. So my dancers were able to contribute to that. So they're learning as we go. Me telling them, that doesn't help as much. They have to see it. Mm-hmm. So it's such a great thing.
And they understand at a young age what they're doing, right?
Yes, they do. The kids are smarter than we let them have credit for.
That's true. That is true. Talk to us about your journey. I was going to bring up you being a survivor, 19 years now?
Yes.
And what that was like when you first got your diagnosis, and how you carried on, and why being a dancer actually helps in those kinds of skills when you're battled with such a challenge.
Well, in dance, you learn to be graceful in public, and that is grace in every way. So I knew when I found the first. I had 4 actual different types of cancer in one side, but I found the first one, and it was ductal. And so when I went to the doctor, I didn't tell my mom or my sister that I was going. I went, and they started that whole process. So for 6 weeks, I didn't tell them. But every time I went, something else was uncovered. So I knew this could go bad because both of my grandmothers had breast cancer. So I would go to the studio every day. Sometimes I had ice packs on from biopsies and stuff. I just kept a smile on my face. I kept being positive, and I think that was 50% of why I came through this so well. When it was all said and done, when I told my mom and my sister, the first thing each of them said is, "What is your plan?" Because they knew I had one. Mm-hmm. And I said, "I plan to live, so let's do this." So I did have to go through a bilateral mastectomy. It changed my body. It did affect my marriage. Lots of negative came out of it, only for positive to be the end result, because my mom disagrees with me, but breast cancer probably was the best thing that ever happened to me. It changed me as a person. It made me even better. So that blessing for me has not been the blessing for others. So that's why I am so big on helping in the cancer community.
Wow. You serve on the boards of the Carolina Breast Friends.
I do.
And Dancers Against Cancer. I didn't know there was a Dancers Against Cancer group.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your work there and those commitments outside of the studio and how it filters down to your students.
Well, we were at a dance competition, and of course it was soon, not soon after, but several years after I had recovered from it. One of my students came running up and said, "Miss Michelle, look, they have a Dancers Against Cancer t-shirt. I'm going to buy this for you." And I said, "How about this? You buy one for you, I'm going to buy one for me, and we're all going to show up on Monday at dance with these shirts on." So all my team bought these shirts, and only for me to find out that Rick Lands, who owns Kids Artistic Review, which was the dance competition we were at, he had started Dancers Against Cancer because he had an employee that had passed away at 26 years old. Mm-hmm. And he was devastated and wanted to make a difference. So he started selling t-shirts just to help give people money. Well, I kind of got in on the ground floor when they found out that I was a survivor and I looked normal. I'm walking around like a normal human. And he said, "Would you like to get on board and help?" So my dancers got together that year, raised $26,000. Mm-hmm. I rented a house in Beverly Hills and took 26 dancers there. They danced at the Industry Dance Awards and presented the check. To date, we have raised just under $1 million for Dancers Against Cancer.
Ooh,
so
goosebumps.
we have such a passion for it. It's our ongoing project. So I'm always trying to come up with cool and groovy things to do to keep that money raised for them. But we gift dancers and it's dancers, choreographers, dance teachers, and dance parents that are battling cancer. We gift them the money, and we don't ask them what it's for. They can use it for medicines, for power bills, whatever they need. We're here for them, and they become what we call our hope stories, and we form relationships, and we do aftercare as well.
You do, because it takes so much to get through the illness. So whether it's the bills or the medicine or the wigs or what have you.
Absolutely.
So now you have 3,000 students, 2 locations. You're a Broadway producer, and now you're launching a children's book series.
Yes.
I can see the thread that connects all of it, but what do you see as the through line?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I just keep doing. I think whenever you have faced life could end, it makes you brighter, it makes you bigger. And I'm kind of a go big or go home kind of girl. I am a maximalist, self-diagnosed.
The more is more.
More is more. And I just want to always do more. And I thought that it was time to write a children's series. And it's called Natty K. And my daughter's name is Natalie Kathleen. And it's about the little dancer whose mom owns a little dance studio in the village. And all of the things that she'll go through as a little dancer, because growing up as the dance teacher's daughter is not easy, not easy at all. And so she weathered it beautifully with such grace, and now she's 26 years old. And so I'm making a doll. There'll be a little doll with it, and each book will have a moral to the story. There will be something that she goes through, but she prevails. So it's going to be fun. So the first book is coming out. It's in print now, and we are working on our doll.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. You got the doll next, of course. Michelle, talk to us about the dance studios. You have a location in Fort Mill.
Yes.
Carlene's very aware of that.
Yeah, I used to live right beside it. I used to live right near there. Yep.
Yes, in Baxter Village.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then the other one in Charlotte.
Yes.
And so many classes are offered there.
Yes.
Right? For
Hundreds a week.
All ages,
Yes.
too. And we have so much talent.
Oh, yes, we do.
Is that still rewarding to see, this untapped talent and see them grow through the
It
studio?
is. I mean, I have had every level of talent come in and want to be a dancer, and I try to always gear them in the right direction that they're going to have their maximum success, because you can have the heart of a dancer, but you might just not have the it factor. And I try to put them in situations where they can thrive and stick with it so they can keep loving dance. So it's really hard because you're dealing with the emotions of people. And, I laugh because when we do our productions, we have 85 kids standing in a room. I'm like, there is a lot of estrogen in this room.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's at a different level of happiness at that hour. So it's getting it all together and letting these people thrive and enjoy dance and enjoy each other. I spend a lot of time on how we treat each other because everybody wants to be the best in the room. So we're constantly trying to massage them into treating each other well and talking about why that's important. It's so much more than dance. I mean, dance literally is probably 10% of what I do, but I do have the privilege of sitting back and watching my dancers on the stage just blossom, and I can have the highest score at a competition and the lowest score, but a lot of times my lowest score is my beginner that's just starting out, and I see such potential and happiness in her body, or his, because we have boys as well.
Sure.
And just seeing that and how they go and grow. And some people don't make it through until they graduate, but they take what they had and they go on and they'll become a cheerleader, or they go into other things. And when they come back and tell me all the fun things that they're doing just to catch me up on their life, that is when I know I've won.
Does it make them better students?
It does.
There is a correlation, isn't
There absolutely is. And this morning I met, I have 2 dancers that I meet every Wednesday morning before school. So I meet them at 7 o'clock. And the last thing I say to them before they leave is I say, go get educated. And now I'll go, you know what to do? And they'll go get educated. So Bridget and Hayden, they go get educated every Wednesday morning, But I do want them because my degree's in elementary education. I understand the importance of that.
Yeah.
So, and I do want them because after dance, they've got to be humans and they need to be able to speak gracefully in public. They need to be able to do all the things that will make them successful humans.
Yeah. I see the reward in it, through you as well, don't you? Yeah, it's great. Anything else we should know, Michelle, about your work, your studios, your life?
Well,
It's a loaded question, I know.
We do not have all the time. No, I have the privilege of working with my sister. She's the director of one of my locations. My daughter has danced in Europe for 3 years, and she is back. Last summer, she told my husband and I'm ready to buy a home. And so she has bought a townhome, and she's adulting and doing great. She is a beautiful example of what a dancer should be. So I get to work beside her and my sister every day. My niece is 8 years old, and her name is Bridget Michelle. She is now dancing, and my mom does my accounts payable. So I have such a tight family, and my husband is retired from financial world, and he drives trucks for me. He builds props. He does all the things that I know he wish he didn't have to do. But he does for me, and he does it with a smile on his face. So he is my gentle giant that supports me. So I'm really, honestly, the most blessed person you have ever looked at.
Yes, I feel it. And and all kudos to you too for building, because it takes work with passion and all of the energy to build that life for yourself. It just doesn't come, right?
No, it doesn't. And sometimes people they feel jealous because of where you are at a certain point, or maybe you won a lot at a dance competition or whatever. And I think, golly, I just wish they could see my journey in my first little studio that was 600 square feet. And my stepfather, before he passed away, did scenery for regional theater. So he made I couldn't afford crown molding in the studio, so he made it out of cardboard. So it was like a little cardboard palace I'm dancing in, and I thought, I wish they could see where I started and they would not feel this way. But that's okay. That's part part of life, and it's part of emotions and part of people in their journey. It's just, I didn't start here,
Right.
you know, and I've got many, many more years to go, and I've got a lot left in me, so I'm pretty excited.
That's fantastic. And you can do big things after dance as well.
You can. And you know, I'm 55 years old. I do not have a high BMI anymore, and I'm not as limber. I used to be a contortionist. I'm not that anymore.
Neither are we.
Nor are any
Yeah.
of those girls.
Yeah.
But I recently purchased a company. It's called Gold Dance Life, and it is a company that's a 30-year-old company. My mentor, I bought it from him, Ree Gold, and he was ready to retire. So I purchased that because this will be next step for a lot of my dancers, because we put on conventions, competitions, and we do continuing ed for teachers and dancers. So that has been a very busy year for me because I purchased the company back in September, but it is only an extension of what we're doing, and I see such potential and such greatness that's going to come forward from a lot of my dancers, as well as other dancers too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Just keep on spreading your works and your energy and all the good things. I like this strong yet soft era of yours, Michelle. Good job.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah? All right. Michelle Soutier.
Yes.
I said, what? How do you pronounce it? Soutier? Soutier?
Which that is
Soutier.
proper, yes.
But we'll call you Michelle Soutier from Miller Street Dance Academy. And wow, what a great anecdote to what it can be and how the arts enrich youth development. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back on Live Impact News.